Okay, Battle Los Angeles. So this movie was like released in 2009 or maybe 2010, I'm not sure. But when I saw the trailer, it looked like shit. I saw of course the trailers were all over the TV back when this movie was in the cinemas, and it just looked like shit. And now I've actually watched the movie, I can confirm that it is shit. It's no surprise, it just looked bad, and it was bad. So, for those of you who don't know the story, it's an alien invasion movie. We basically follow a group of soldiers who are going through the streets of Los Angeles, obviously, and they just they're fighting off the aliens, so that's the story. Aliens are invading Earth, and we're following this one particular group going through Los Angeles to fight the aliens. So there you go, that's the story. And yeah, I didn't like it. My mum, she records a bunch of movies on Sky Movies. She records a bunch of movies. She always records like a group of them every now and again. And then we just leave them on the hard drive and I watch them over time. And this was one of the movies. So it's like, why did I watch it if I thought it's going to be shit? Well, I don't really care whether or not a movie's good or bad. I'll watch it anyway. I don't mind torturing myself with like really shitty movies or anything. I'll just watch a movie just so I can say I've seen it. So that's why I watched the movie. It was just there on the hard drive, so I was like, okay, let's watch it to see how bad it is. And yeah, it is pretty bad. I do understand with this, I do understand with this sort of movie, it's like I see that the fans would argue if this movie does have fans. I'm sure there's some people that like it, but I guess their argument would be something along the lines of it's a stupid action movie. But it's kind of fun. Like, you're not supposed to really think about it. You're supposed to just enjoy the explosions, the gunfights, the aliens, all the set pieces, and and the effects. I guess people are just saying, just shut off your brain and just enjoy the action. I guess that's how people would argue against the haters of this film. Like, I really hated this movie. I do see where people are coming from. Like, kind of like Final Destination 5 and Transformers 3, where those movies are just shits, but they're kind of movies you watch because sorry to any Final Destination fans, I hate Final Destination, but like, even if you don't like Final Destination 5 as don't like the movie as a movie, I guess people do argue, just shut off your brain and enjoy the deaths, enjoy the gore, enjoy the action. You don't really have to think about whether or not it's a good movie, just enjoy it for what it is. Like, just enjoy the gore, the action, etc, etc. But the thing is, with those movies, Transformers 3 and Final Destination 5, even the deaths were boring. Even the action scenes in Transformers was boring. And it's the same for this movie, Battle Los Angeles. It's just a boring movie. Like, even the action scenes, I just found them really boring. Like, I don't really have anything to say about them. I just found the action scenes were just really tedious. Like, when they're shooting up the aliens, and especially the finale. The finale, Jesus, I just wanted this movie to be over. I mean, this is like almost a 2-hour long film, I think. It might actually be 2 hours long, or maybe it's just under 2 hours long. It's certainly like a longer than average movie. It's longer than your average movie. Movies are normally like 90 minutes or 80 minutes. This is like 110 minutes. I think it's something like that. It's almost 2 hours. I'm pretty certain of that. But even, like I said, even if like me just trying to shut off my brain and enjoy a dumb fun movie with actions and explosions, I couldn't do that either. It was just really boring. The action scenes sucked. I just didn't care. It was just really boring. I can't really say why. They were just tedious to sit through. I didn't like it at all. The special effects, which were mostly CGI, of course, but they were okay. I'll say that the CGI was all right. Like, I'm not a fan of CGI, but it was okay. What else? Yeah. So the story, I'm not quite sure what to say about the story. It was just boring. I didn't care. It has a lot of really cliche moments. Like Aaron Eckhart, the guy who played Two-Face in The Dark Knight. I'm just going to call him Aaron. Or maybe it's Aaron, I don't know. I'm going to call him Aaron, whatever. But, so Aaron plays like the lead Marine, like the leader, the general of these group of Marines, like the leader of them. This film just has a lot of cliche moments, for example, one of the soldiers, they acquire some civilians, they're trying to escort them from the alien, from the battlefield. And at one point the civilian, he picks up a gun and starts spraying it, starts shooting at all of the aliens. I can't remember, like the soldiers, they get knocked down or some shit, so they can't fire the guns, and then the civilian does the heroic act of grabbing a gun and starts shooting at the aliens, and he kills like a good 3 aliens before he gets killed, which is fucking stupid. Really hated that moment. And well, you know, he gets killed. That's a spoiler, but this movie is shit. Who cares? You know, really, that kind of happens like halfway through the movie anyway, so it's not much of a spoiler. He wasn't that much of an important character either. And you get like really cliche moments, like the guy's dying, like the civilian, he's dying, he's like bleeding to death. Aaron, the lead character, the lead general or whatever, he's kind of sitting next to him. They're just saying a bunch of shit, like really cliche dialogue. Like the dialogue's really bad as well. And after the civilian dies, Aaron is like, okay, we've got to get his wife and kids out of here. And then one of the soldiers gets really pissed off and he's like, are you going to get us out alive too, as if, you know, you don't really care about us, you only care about the civilians? I guess he's implying that. Like, you know, basically the soldier gets really pissed off that this Aaron's more concerned about the civilians' lives than theirs, which is kind of understandable. I mean, that's kind of the mission, right? So, you know, he just gets really pissed off, and then Aaron just delivers this really, really cliche, stupid ass speech, which kind of calms him down. Then, like a really patriotic, yeah, this film was really patriotic as well. That was really annoying. Like, it's really pro-America, like pro-army, like join the army kind of thing. It's really, really patriotic. I really hated that. Like, it's just really cliche. So the guy gets really pissed off, and Aaron delivers this really cliche, shitty speech, like about the guy's, like the guy's brother died or some shit like that. I don't care, but the guy's brother died or something, I guess, in combat, and he just delivers a long, like really long, tedious, boring, stupid speech, which is just so cliche. And he's just saying stuff like, I don't know, he mentions the guy's dead brother, basically. He says something like, your brother was a good soldier. He says something like that. I can't remember, I didn't care, I saw this movie a while back. But basically this speech kind of makes the guy settle down. He's not angry anymore, and he's like, you know, I'll follow you to the end now, because you gave me that speech. It's just the dialogue's really, really crappy, and it's just a really cliche movie. Okay, the aliens, let's talk about the aliens. So the aliens, I thought they kind of looked a bit weird. Like, I didn't really care, but they're kind of just robots, like humanoid robots. They kind of, I don't know what's up with that. And I guess they were aliens, like they were like humanoid alien creatures within like these metal armored suits. I guess that's what it was. Like, I wasn't too sure about that. I kind of like the suspense of when you, like, this is probably like the only thing I liked about the movie. It's kind of like this, basically the suspense of when you first see the alien, because of course the aliens are kind of blacked out when they first appear. For the first like 30 minutes of the movie, I'd say, you don't see the aliens, like a good view of the aliens. Like, it's all this shaky camera bullshit, and you know, they appear on screen for like a split second before they jump behind the building, and you can't see them anymore. So I think it did a good job of kind of building the suspense of you not seeing them, like hiding what they look like until like the 30-minute mark in the movie. That's when you start seeing them like casually. But the aliens, I don't know. Like the design. If we're gonna like talk about whether or not the aliens look good, whatever. Like, they were okay. They just kind of look like robots to me, like humanoid robots. I thought that was kind of lame, but it didn't bother me too much. Like, I wasn't expecting anything anyways, and yeah, the aliens, they just didn't look too good either. So this is one thing, the aliens, their weapons like a machine gun or some shit like that, but basically they're like really accurate. So for the first like 40, maybe 50 minutes of the movie, they're really accurate. Like, they are actually deadly. Like, you feel as if, yeah, these aliens will kill you. They, you know, they can mess stuff up if they want to, and they're just pretty accurate, basically, because like I said, they have like a machine gun for like on their arm, and that's kind of like their weapon throughout the film. And so they're pretty accurate. They are deadly. Like, these characters can't kill a single one. They do manage to kill one in like the first like 40 or 50 minutes. They manage to kill one. I'll get to this later. This is like one thing I didn't like about the movie. But basically, the aliens are deadly. They are a real threat. Like, they will kill you, basically. Like, these guys have to run from these aliens. They are screwed. Which the soldiers do. So there's this one scene where they capture like a wounded alien. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of like paralyzed or whatever. And they're trying to figure out like the weak point of like where to shoot it, to kill it. So, you know, like, they're cutting it open and they're like stabbing it in like a bunch of different places. And they eventually figure out that you got to kill it, you got to shoot to the right of the heart. There's like this weird heart, well, it looks like a heart anyway. It's like this weird organ of the alien. It's kind of by there, it's like, well, to the right of the heart. I'm not sure if it's that part. I mean, did they mean from their right or to the alien's right of the heart? They never mentioned that, but I don't know, I don't care. But basically, to the right of the heart is this organ of the alien, which if you shoot it, it kills it. But the thing is, after learning this, like, shoot to the right of the heart to kill it, after learning this, everyone suddenly becomes like a super soldier, and all of the aliens are automatically shit all of a sudden. Like, none of the aliens can shoot anyone. Like, yeah, sure, 1 or 2 people die throughout, you know, throughout the course of the film after that, but still, the aliens do like significantly get really, they're just not as threatening as they were before. I mean, when the soldiers were fighting the aliens before they knew about the weak point, they were spraying the aliens with bullets anyway. So it was kind of like, yeah, sure, well, at least one bullet's going to reach by there anyway. And besides, the chest is what you're going to shoot at anyway. Like, I guess the head, yeah, sure, that's one point. But like the chest and the head is kind of like a part of the body you're going to be shooting anyway. And plus, you're not going to be like 100% accurate, obviously, in a situation like this, with your adrenaline pumping and whatnot. So you're going to be like not hitting like dead on the head, and you're going to be hitting the chest anyway. And thus, you're going to hit that part of the body anyway. So you're going to be killing the aliens anyway. But the thing is, when they were shooting at the aliens, it's like the aliens never died. I guess they killed one alien in the pool scene. Like the guy sprays the alien with bullets, he's standing right next to it, and they're like, he riddles the whole entire body with bullets, and I guess some of the bullets must have hit there. Like, they must have. He's right next to the alien, like, spraying it everywhere, like, all around the chest and the head area. So that must have killed the alien. But I didn't like how the alien suddenly can't hit for shit. Like, I didn't like how, like, they were 100% accurate at the start of the film. And then, as soon as they figure out the weak points, you know, bang, the aliens can die. They're so brittle, they're so fragile. And basically the aliens can't hit anyone as soon as they figure out the weak point. That just, you know, everyone just turns into a super soldier from that point onwards. That sucked. And the thing is, at the start of the movie, they only fighting like 5, or in some cases even 1 alien at a time. They're only fighting like 5, 2, 3 aliens at a time. And they are getting their asses handed to them. They are seriously in trouble. Like, these aliens are a threat. And there's only like 5 or 2 of them. And then in the finale, like, I'm not even exaggerating, there's like 20 or 30 aliens. Like, in the finale, they end up having to hold their ground at this area, waiting for a missile. And they're like surrounded, like a full circle. They're completely surrounded by aliens. And, you know, in this big open area, they are just completely, you know, they're just killing all the aliens, no problem. Like, it's so easy. And the aliens, like, sure, the aliens kill 1 or 2 people, like I said, but yeah, it's just all of a sudden they're super soldiers, you know, after finding out the weak point. I just didn't buy that. That was kind of lame. And yeah, about the characters, of course. The characters, as you expected, you don't know who any of them are and all this shit. Like, you don't care. Just, you won't recognise any of the characters, even by the face. You won't recognise, like, oh, it's like, okay, that's the black guy. Like, he's the only person you'll, like, remember or recognise because he's different. He's black, so you'll just remember him, that's it. So when, like, a character dies, of course, I'm not just saying this because I hate this movie. Like, you really do not know who just died. Like, everyone looks the same. You just don't really know who they are. Like, okay, so you've got the girl. She's the only girl in the group, so you know her. You know the black guy. And you know Two-Face from The Dark Knight. Aaron Eckhart, whoever his name is. You know him. And yeah, everyone else you just don't recognise. You don't like remember or recognise or anything. And there's this one dude at the start. He has a pregnant wife, and they, like, you know, I guess they mentioned her throughout the film. I don't know. They probably did. I just don't remember. Like, I just wanted this movie to be over. It's so boring. But at the start of the movie, like, they're going through each character, like, introducing every character, which I was like, why is there any point in this? Like, none of this becomes really important later on because the characterization of this film sucked. But one of the characters has a pregnant wife, and I guess he died. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he survived or not. But at the start, he has a pregnant wife, and, like, before he goes off, he's, like, kissing his wife goodbye. He's rubbing her stomach and all this shit, like all this really cliche stuff, you know. And then he goes off to the war zone, and shit happens with the aliens. I'm guessing he died. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if he survived or not, but the point I'm trying to make here is that I'm sure he died. I'm thinking he died, so you know, obviously they want us to feel sorry for the people who did die, and obviously they failed at that, but you know, he has a pregnant wife, so I just feel as if that's like a cheap way of trying to get us to feel sorry for him. I guess they were like, okay, don't worry about the character, just show he has a pregnant wife, and I just feel as if they're banking on the fact that he has a pregnant wife. They're just banking on the fact that we'll feel sorry for him just because he has a pregnant wife. It's like, it's the same for the Hunger Games. Like, they dealt with, I can't remember the girl's name, you know, Rube, I think? You know, the little black girl. Like, that character, she was pretty shit as well, that character. And I feel as if they were just banking on the idea that because she's a little kid, we'll feel sorry for her when she dies. They were like, oh, don't worry about the character. She's a little kid, so people will feel sorry for her automatically when she dies. So they're just being lazy, like in the Hunger Games, they're being lazy there. And it's the same with this movie, I feel, with the guy with the pregnant wife. Well, they were lazy with every character, but they tried to do a really cheap sympathy vote for the character by showing that he has a pregnant wife, and of course I didn't care. So whatever, just saying. And okay, almost to the end here. Okay, so this film uses shaky camera a lot. I didn't really care. Like, sometimes I find shaky camera annoying, like in Quantum of Solace. I mean, that was ridiculous, Quantum of Solace, how much they used the shaky camera there. And of course, the Hunger Games, they used that to hide the gore, which the gore would have benefited the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games would have been a superior film if they showed the blood and gore. I already been through this. I'll try not to repeat myself here, but back to Battle Los Angeles. They used shaky camera, and it sucked. Well, okay, I take that back. It was okay. I didn't care. It didn't annoy me too much either. It was just there. One part of it did annoy me though. Like at the start of the movie, when they're introducing the characters, you have like 20 minutes of dialogue and shit that you don't care about, of course. Like going back to like when people are saying, "Well, it's a fun movie. Switch off your brain, enjoy the action." It's kind of like, yeah, but the first 20 minutes of the movie is just dialogue, and it's just like, you know, it's not much action there, is it? It's just boring. Like, even if you do find the action scenes entertaining, like I didn't find the action scenes entertaining, like I couldn't even switch off my brain to enjoy them, they were just boring. But the first 20 minutes is just dialogue anyway, so even with that mindset, you're going to be bored anyway for the first 20 minutes. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was talking. Oh yeah, the shaky camera. It's just like, they have a scene which is, it's just pretty funny how they do the shaky camera. They're trying to make it really dramatic. It's just two guys, Aaron Eckhart, and he's talking to like a general or some shit like that. They're just talking in an office or a room, and they're just talking to each other. Like the camera's going like, you know, it's like, oh, like the camera's like shaking like mad. It's like zooming in and out constantly as they're just sitting there talking. It's just like, you know, they're just trying to make it so dramatic. Like the camera's literally going, you know, it's shaking all over the place, trying to make it so dramatic. I just thought it's kind of funny that, you know, just how bad that scene was, because of just the way that, you know, the shaky camera, it just so uncalled for. And I guess they were trying to make it dramatic, but Jesus, that was just such a bad move. Yeah, it was just really bad. Okay, jump cuts. So just then I was kind of trying to think of what else to say then. Like I've said everything I want to say about the movie now. Like that's pretty much my thoughts. That's like everything I thought about the movie. So, you know, it's pretty shit, but I just wanted to say like a little story that I just remembered right now. Like I stopped for like 5 minutes trying to think what the hell was I going to say. Okay, so basically I was watching the movie. I couldn't watch this movie in one sitting. I had to stop it and watch the other half of the movie like another day, because it was really painful. Like it was really boring. Like it was at this one point in the movie I was like, oh Jesus Christ, you know, I was like, oh, I really want this movie to end. I was just like that, and it got to the point where, so I like pressed select on the remote, and you know, so then I could see how much time I had left on the movie, and I found out I had 50 minutes of the movie left, and you know, it just felt like 90 minutes already. I was kind of hoping, okay, maybe like I've watched a lot of this movie. It's got to have like 10 or 15 minutes left. At least I hope so. So when I pressed select and I found out I had 50 minutes left, I just couldn't handle it anymore. I had to like actually, I just couldn't watch it anymore. It was really painful to watch. It's really boring. So I stopped watching it. I just turned it off, and I came back like 1 or 2 days later to watch the other half of the film. Like, that doesn't happen a lot with me and films. Like, I normally just watch them in one sitting, but this is one of a few times where I just had to turn it off. It was so boring. And then I watched the other half. So telling you that little story is worth it, I guess, because it kind of emphasizes how fucking boring this movie was. Like, this movie was really boring. You know, just try giving you that little story to emphasize how boring I thought the movie was. And that's all I have to say about the movie. So that's the review. So the recap, as fast as I can. Sure, I understand people why people would enjoy it, like, as a dumb, you know, as a dumb, stupid, fun action movie. You know, just enjoy the explosions, the fights, the gunfights, etc., etc. Just enjoy all that, you know. I guess I understand why people would enjoy it, like enjoy it for that, and you know, from that kind of perspective. I tried to enjoy it from that perspective, but I couldn't. Like, even the action scenes, I just didn't find the action scenes boring. I didn't find the action scenes fun. I didn't find them entertaining. Like, even trying to enjoy the film from that perspective, I just found it boring. I just couldn't do it. You know, the characters sucked. Like, Jesus, just watch the film for yourself. I mean, do I really need to say anything about the characters? Like, you don't even know who dies. Like, literally, you do not know who dies. And you don't recognise any of the characters aside from Aaron Eckhart, because he's a famous actor. The black guy, because he's black, and the girl, because she's the only girl there. Like, you only recognise those characters. Like, you know, you just don't know. Like the pregnant guy, I don't even know, the guy with the pregnant wife, I don't even know if he died or not. And neither do I care, just whatever. And it's like a cheap way to invoke sympathy from us. The shaky camera at the start was pretty laughable, because like it's just two people talking, and it's like, chill out. Like, there's no need to like shake the camera like crazy. And just didn't like how the aliens, they were threats at the beginning, but as soon as you find out that you can shoot them there to kill them, which they were shooting anyway, suddenly the aliens are, you know, automatically shit, and they can't kill anyone, and you know, everyone becomes a super soldier all of a sudden. So all around, it's just a boring movie overall, and that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for watching. That's the end of it. So see ya.